Hey there my friends, Kevin Steinman here coming at you with another episode of Crypto Daily News. Today is July 16th, Monday. It's episode number 12 and we are seeing some pretty cool things happening in the market today. If you had a chance to buy last week, you probably have a big grin on your face because Bitcoin has just passed the 6,600 level and going back up on quite the bullish ride here. And there's really a number of reasons for that I'm going to get into, but because of the fact that there are so many positive things happening in the marketplace for cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, I think it's important that you guys just look at the overall perspective of what this all means for blockchain technology and where cryptocurrency is headed. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. First things first, Coinbase actually was approved by the SEC to be having actual securities, cryptocurrency, to be listed on their Coinbase Pro, formerly GDAX, which they acquired last year. But essentially, what they're aiming to do is go and have these different tokens that many people have been asking for, like Zcash and Cardano and all these different ones. They want to have a variety of different currencies on there to be more like an exchange, but with, of course, the SEC's approval to be listing them appropriately and have them as securities in that way. Another cool thing that happened with BitPay was that they actually received their Bit license from the New York Department of Financial Services. And one cool thing about this is that New York is actually one of the most difficult states to get approval from as it relates to cryptocurrency. So New York has been stated to have one of the strictest policies around business involving cryptocurrency, and working through the approval process to obtain a license is really important to BitPay. Obviously, they feel that this is all in an effort to just make it more easy and accessible to every other state and every other country. I think this is a huge step forward for them, so congrats. BitPay is a pretty awesome company. Another update with China, this is some pretty big news too. China's IT ministry says that blockchain should be developed on an industrial scale. And if you know about what has been happening up until this point in time with China, then you know that they've been kind of on the fence, and in most cases they just don't want to deal with anything in cryptocurrency at all. But what I think is cool is that actually Hong Kong Monetary Authority was looking to launch a multi-bank blockchain trade in their finance platform. So they want to actually go and make a de facto central bank that will launch soon with like 21 banks in August. So this is pretty cool, again, coming from a joint venture between Hong Kong Monetary Authority and Chinese company Ping An Group's fintech subsidiary of OneConnect. And essentially they're aiming to use blockchain and cryptocurrency technology and these different things together to go and do many of the common cases which many other people are using today, is essentially to reduce paperwork, cut down on security, like exposure, and also making sure that everything is just transparent, right? And this is what has been reported from the Financial Times over there in China. But I think what's really interesting is that this partnership they have with this company here, what is their name? Ping An's group. Essentially, this is a company that is already managing a large amount of money, like over $700 billion. And so this is a huge step forward for China, and I think it's really awesome, this move that they're making. Another cool thing here in the US is BlackRock. They're one of the biggest exchange traded funds, ETFs, and they manage about $6.3 trillion in assets. At least that's what they were managing back in 2017. They're currently looking into the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets to make some moves to enter the market for themselves. As such, whether it's futures or current just buying the actual Bitcoin itself is still up in the air. But one thing that was said from trading advisor Rand Neuner said that 2017's price jumps was going to be considered a warm-up once these big banks and institutions start getting into the crypto markets. And you know what? I really don't disagree with that statement or doubt it by any means, because if you look at what happened towards the end of last year in November and December, it's pretty easy to see how with institutional money from banks and hedge funds and so forth, getting into the crypto space is just going to increase the volume, the liquidity, the trading, all these different things that are being done on all these different exchanges. So I think it's pretty cool. But again, it's unfortunate that there are still those handful of banks out there that are dissuading others from adopting cryptocurrency, as well as the many benefits that the technology provides. Cool update from EOS developer Block One. they have secured some investments from Peter Thiel, as well as Jihan Wang, Bitmain, and they actually are moving forward with building out Block 1 to secure EOS and everything it represents. If you're not too familiar with EOS, the best way to think about it is the Apple App Store, of which you can acquire ownership or stake in by buying EOS tokens. And whenever an app comes out, you get paid on a one-to-one basis based on the number of EOS tokens that you have. So of course you probably don't want to sell your EOS tokens, but rather lock up a percentage so you can receive those dividends, if you will, or those one-to-one payouts from these new apps, or dApps as they're being called, decentralized applications, to go and actually make money by just powering the network itself. It's a pretty cool technology, pretty cool effort that's going on, and congrats to EOS and Block 1 for that. Another cool thing, I think this is probably the most exciting, even though it is the last thing I'm going to talk about, is that Accenture, they actually are looking to use blockchain for aerospace supply chains. And for me personally, I have been looking at blockchain and cryptocurrency as when it goes mainstream and we're out there flying around in space and all this stuff, people are not going to be asking for US dollars. They're going to be like, hey, why don't you send me over some cryptocurrency like Bitcoin or whatever is most commonly used at that time. And then we're going to be actually entering a life where we're like in Star Trek, and essentially these cryptocurrencies will become like credits. And so I think it's a really exciting time that we're living in here, and there's a lot of cool stuff ahead. You know, it definitely makes sense to keep up with the market every day. I'm here to help you guys do that. I'm just going to go ahead and close by quoting the actual person involved with what's going on with aerospace and Accenture here to bring these supply chains together. So essentially, the aerospace and defense industry has one of the world's most vast and complex supply chains. This is said by John Schmidt, Global Managing Director for Accenture Aerospace. And furthermore, he said, blockchain technology offers a new and elegant and secure way for the industry to track and trace a myriad of components while deterring counterfeiting and improving maintenance capabilities. So nothing that you shouldn't already know if you've been in the blockchain or crypto space for a while. That is essentially what the basis of blockchain and cryptocurrency is for. But there is so many different other applications. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this industry develops in a positive way. Hope you guys have enjoyed.
Ridiculous, without even trying. How do they do it? This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.